So I'm excited today to talk about the We Can Survive, which is not only the biggest music event of the year, but it also has an important message around mental health, encouraging everyone to have more conversation on mental health. So I'm excited to talk to both of you today. Music has such a unique way of bringing fans together through healing and sparking conversations that really matter. So I'd love to dive into what this show means to both of you this year, the artists involved, and the impact it can have on people.
I'm Emily West. I do middays, 10 to 3 on New 102.7. And we're so excited for our We Can Survive concert because not only do we have big artists, which, I'll touch on in 1 second, but it's all about mental health, which we all deal with the struggles. Of course, I deal with the struggles too. And, you got to talk about it and you can't do it alone. So I think this show is such a big platform to help people out.
My name's Mike Adam. I do Afternoon Drive 3 to 7 on 102.7. I think the cool thing about bridging the gap between music and mental health is, nothing has the power to alter your mood more than music. So feeling that impact from artists, when you're sad, there's a song for that. When you're happy, there's a song for that. It really can uplift you and impact you. And I think there's a direct correlation from music benefits and how it helps you overall, your mood and your well-being with just, things like suicide prevention, depression, all the stuff. And like Emily said, especially coming out of COVID, we've all been touched by this. So it's important to talk about it.
Exactly. And it's such an important conversation. And it's why I'm so excited for the We Can Survive concert coming up. Do you both have a song that puts you in that immediately good mood, puts you in the right mindset to take on the day?
I'm going to pull from one of our We Can Survive artists, Ed Sheeran. I really perfect. His song, anything upbeat for him. But, also he was saying too, just about his mental health, he's got to put the screen down to kind of get him out of a funk, which I know he has worked hard on, but also getting some exercise. And then Johnny Resnick from the Goo Goo Dolls said it really helps him mental health wise if he's playing on his guitar or if he's writing music. So, Mike mentioned how it really does bridge the gap, and it is so true, just to get out of your head and get into a different mind frame.
Yeah, I love that. And like Emily said, I think you could dig into Shabuzi's catalog as well. Like A Bar Song is such a happy, fun song. And then there's other artists too that I love that immediately lift up my mood, like anything from Chappell Roan.
Is there one message that you would hope summarizes what We Can Survive is about and what you're hoping that this night is going to be about with all the artists?
I think it's really just being open and talking about it. And there is no shame in telling people how you feel. Telling your emotions, what's going on with you that day, what you need. Do you need a little help? Alex Warren, who's one of our artists, once again, just to give him a little shout out, he said when he's down, it's his wife that gets him out of that and gets him, kind of past that funk. So really, it's all about communication and speaking and I think just talking about how you're feeling.
Yeah, and what else is cool about this event? What we try to do is make it a family event. So we cater to our entire demographic. We have the Goo Goo Dolls, and then we also have budding artists like Lola Young. So you're getting a lot of parents being out here with their kids, and then you incorporate the mental health aspect of that. And I think it's just such a good opener for families to start talking about that, because it really is a family affair.
Well, yeah, if they hear questions, or the kids probably have questions when they hear the artist talking about it on stage, they're like, "Hey, mom, oh, what, do you have anything you want to talk about?" Or, that's kind of reversing the psychology of it, which is really neat.
Such a beautiful point, too, because it's like opening a platform for children's curiosity, which they're naturally going to have, but lets it be in a setting that feels comfortable and safe with a fun Lola Young song or talking about how Alex Warren loves his wife. I'm chronically online and I've seen all the videos of them. So it's a beautiful place to kind of have that conversation and let curiosity flow. So on a night like this, where it's important to take a moment and really tune into the conversation conversation and the songs happening. Why is it so important, do you guys feel, to have this type of night in a crazy city like New York City to talk about mental health?
I think, New York, the tri-state in general, we have such a hustle grind culture that, it can wear us down. It wears me down with my commute and just, coming from that era where it's like, you got to grind out. You have to outwork your peers. You have to be the first one in, the last one out. So I think the tri-state, that is embedded in our fabric for sure. So placing this concert here, these are conversations we all need to talk about: burnout and therapy, and how to be the healthiest version of ourselves.
I think that's totally true, and everyone can just hop on the train, quick commute from the city out to the Prudential Center, and it's going to be such a great night, and we are going to have so much fun.
Awesome. Thank you. Well, Mike, you touched on some amazing points about kind of the experiences that you're having. So, as radio hosts, you're usually the ones telling other people's stories. So, I'm curious if you would be open to sharing some of your story and how important this night means to you guys personally.
Yeah, I mean, we look forward to this all year. And we just want really to have a fun night, have a wonderful time with all these artists, and then really, if we can get the conversation going about mental health, so there really is no more stigma. That's what we're really trying to do. You don't have to suffer alone. So, I think that we can't wait. A couple days away, and it's just going to be a great night.
Yeah, and I think what's really cool about this is Alex Warren, he lost his father at young age, and I grew up not knowing my dad. Alex Warren was living in his car for a long time. He has a story that really complements what this concert is about. And the same with Lola Young. Like, Messi is basically an ode to ADHD, so you have these artists that are vocal about their real struggles, and I've felt that. I've lost family members to suicide. I'm sure these are stories that a lot of people can or share. It's universal. People suffering from alcoholism, whatever it may be, and that's definitely touched me. So it is personal for me, and I think the artists we have on the lineup this year really exemplify what we're trying to do here.
Absolutely. And when that personal story is there for them too, they're not just singing these words that were given to them. It's something deep down that they understand themselves and they know what we're all going through and can kind of speak to that through the music. Awesome. So you mentioned Alex Warren, Lola Young, two people we're very, very excited for. Not only are they taking the stage, they're also in the launch program. They're launch artists for this year. So what makes you think that they're the perfect artists to be representing this next wave of music? We talked a little bit about mental health, some of the amazing music that they've done. In both of your opinions, why do you feel like they're great for that next wave, that next generation?
I think number one, we got to kind of look at radio. You don't really think of that as a platform for artists anymore because there's so many options. But I think it's a great way to get them out there to show, hey, look, we started here. Here's where you're going. Radio did that, and I think it's a great way to show that radio's got a long life, and more artists need to look at that and to accept that and come our way.
Yeah, we cherry pick these launch artists, so it shows, I think, that we have our finger on the pulse still, and like we hit two home runs having Alex Warren and Lola Young being our launch artists, and before that we've had like Teddy Swim. So radio definitely is in the loop, and I think it's crucial, important thing to getting an artist to become a household name. Like, you need radio in order to do that. And I think with these artists, why they're perfect for We Can Survive and for our playlists and for just, worldwide exposure is because they're that new age. They're utilizing their platform, social media, so well, and it's an extension of their brand and their music, and they're connecting with fans ways that, the Goo Goo Dolls, when they first started out, were not able to do. You had to wait until a magazine article about the Goo Goo Dolls came out to learn more about them. But people like Alex Warren, they are connecting directly with fans. And I think when we talk about the mental health conversation, for them to share their stories pretty much directly with fans,
Mhm.
whether it be X, TikTok, wherever. I mean, that impact that it has on these kids is just astronomical.
And I even saw recently Alex Warren had a viral TikTok going where he was running into some issues with like overbooking things and he needed that time off to disconnect. And it's like he turned to TikTok where he has this direct attention. He doesn't have to wait for a magazine cover or a spread in a magazine to tell his side of the story and let people know, hey, I need some help. He was able to turn to his fans in that moment and be very honest and real with them.
Yes, and we see this all the time with artists now. There's no longer a stigma, a taboo with mental health. Like, I was talking
Mhm.
with Louis Capaldi not long ago, and he shared exactly why he went on his 2 year hiatus. He needed to prioritize his mental health and literally go outside and touch some grass and press pause. So we talk about this all the time now with artists, and they're so passionate about it. I'm passionate about it, and I think it's wonderful. It's only going to lead to amazing things.
Yeah, and the fans, they give them that grace to do that, to take that time off, to touch the grass, and be like, okay, when you come back, we'll still be here for you. So, I think it's great just to get the message out in real time.
And I got to compliment you both for two amazing artists and constantly getting the best artists coming up. So radio's rocking it, and I'd love to see what your most listened to artists are by the end of this year.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's a lot. I mean, there that's the thing. I almost get overwhelmed by it now because there's so many outlets and so many ways to find new music now. So there's just so much good stuff out there. I in heavy rotation for me, I've been playing a lot of the Lumineers' new music. I love their latest album, and I don't know. Gosh, there's Gracie Abrams. I love her. I just interviewed a new artist, Still, who's the opener for Dua Lipa. You spell it CIL, and her music is phenomenal. But there's so many good artists out there now.
There's too many good artists. You know what? I got to tell you, Gracie Abrams, her best, she's great herself, but her best friend Audrey Hobart,
Mhm.
um, yeah, she's so much fun. She came in the studio and talked with us, so she's going to be another big one to watch. But yeah, her, Chapel Roan, we're just waiting. We're just waiting for a few things from her to come out, but she's always a good time.
So I'm Hayden from NYC Concert News, and I got to ask about concerts. So, what was your first concert that you ever went to, and how do you think that's going to compare to the We Can Survive concert coming up?
My first concert was New Kids on the Block. And it's funny because we had them last year and I got to introduce them at We Can Survive. So that was kind of a full circle moment. You know what? We just always look for surprises. Always something happens you're not expecting, and it's just going to be so much fun. So we can't wait.
Wow, that's a great first concert. So
Yeah.
I my first concert was, I think I was around 8, and it was actually Chicago, which was awesome, and that kind of set the tone for like
Mike's
my,
always been very mature. So
yeah, yeah,
From day one.
yeah.
my like classic rock love and stuff like that. So I think how that'll chalk up to this concert. We will definitely get the rock element from the Goo Goo Dolls, and I've grown up with them basically. So that'll really scratch that itch for me. You have Black Balloon Slide, stuff like that are really timeless records. So I'm extremely excited about that.
If I see you headbang in the back, I'll come join.
I think we just can't wait. And we got Ed Sheeran, Goo Goo Dolls, Alex Warren, Shabuzi, and Lola Young. So it's all part wrapped around mental health, and it's just going to be a great night. So we appreciate you interviewing us, and we can't wait for the show.
Totally. And since We Can Survive has come to the East Coast, every year it's gotten significantly bigger. And I mean, the lineup this year and how quickly it's sold out, it's just I'm excited for the future. This year is amazing, but I'm already thinking about next year and the year after that. Like, the East Coast has really embraced this concert, so it's very pleasing to see.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We're super excited for it, and we'll see you on September 26th at the Prudential Center.